Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1308. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. What are you buying? That's the theme today. I did buy some cards. I'm always buying cards, whether I want to or not. If a deal comes up, always buying, always buying. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about always buying cards despite having overflowing inventory. Why am I still buying? Why am I still buying? There's an answer. There's a simple answer. When I say I have too much inventory, why do I keep buying? There's a simple answer. I'll share that simple answer today. So we'll talk about what I'm buying. I did buy some stuff last night, but it was not for inventory purposes. It was for personal collection purposes. So I'll share what I bought last night. And I'm going to be on a roll buying here over the next couple of weeks. Nothing this weekend. No plans this weekend. But in 2 weeks, I'm going to be heading down to Dallas via Oklahoma City. And I'll be shopping the Dallas Card Show. So I'm excited for that trip in a couple of weeks with Cooter. Dallas Card Show in 2 weeks. And then I'll try to recoup what I bought the following weekend in Rockford, Illinois. Set up at the Rockford Card Show. I'll take a week off, and then we'll get down to Chicago and spend my day buying on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll be set up at the Spectacular in Rosemont, the Donald Stevens Convention Center. That is Sunday. I think November 24th is the day that I'll be set up in Chicago. I'll have quarter boxes as far as the eye can see on my one table on Sunday, November 24th, Rockford, Illinois. And then the following weekend, Saturday, November 30th, the Madison Card Show. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to set up at the show on November 30th in Madison. We shall see. But I'll be there. That's for sure. Well, actually, that's not. Nothing is for sure. I hope to be there on November 30th. So that's the plan for this month. I'm going to talk about buying. Hey, you know what I did last night? I made dinner. And it was by accident. I made dinner by accident. And you're like, well, what does that mean? How do you make dinner by accident? Well, I got the idea by accident. So I shared about my trip to Aldi last week, and I picked up some naan bread. Now, normally we don't get naan that often, but when we do, it's usually just to dip in hummus. So I saw naan at Aldi, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick this up. And so I did, and it's been a week, and we haven't even opened it yet. And I'm looking in the fridge, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll get some hummus so this doesn't go to waste. And I pick up the naan, and I looked at the back. I think I was looking for like when do we have to use this by? And there's a recipe on the back for pizza, and you know how I love pizza. And I'm like, well, holy shit. And it actually looked like a pizza that both my wife and I would enjoy, this type of pizza. So I'm like, you know what? My wife's been, she switched brokerages recently. And so she, like within the last few days. So just putting everything in the new company software and just doing all of that. So she's been overworked. And I'm like, so I've made dinner a few times over these last couple of weeks. It's hard though, because my wife's very picky, and even the stuff that she likes, sometimes she doesn't want it today. So it's like a crapshoot, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If she doesn't want to eat it, she doesn't have to eat it. She can have macaroni and cheese or something, but I'm going to make this pizza. So we had Ernie at doggy daycare. So I'm going to kind of meld two stories together here. So I'll try to keep these as simple as possible. But I was in a rush at the grocery store, and here's why. So Ernie is at doggy daycare. Now, normally he's only at doggy daycare on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but here's the thing. Both my wife and I are super busy on Mondays. I'm busy because weekends are usually busy in my eBay store. Wasn't quite the case this weekend. Sales were a little down, but I was at the Madison Card Show all day Saturday. Sunday, I just kind of did my own thing. I did some shipping on Sunday, but I was behind because I didn't ship Saturday or Sunday. And I really didn't do a lot of shipping on Friday because I'm getting geared up for the Saturday show. So, I'm kind of behind on my shipping. So my wife's like, it's like 9:00 and I've got like a solid hour of shipping in. And she's like, I gotta go. What do you want me to do with Ernie? I'm like, fuck. Or I think she had just got out of the shower. She's like, can you take him out? And I'm like, oh my God. So there's just too many distractions. So I go up and I'm like, I'm like losing focus. And I'm like, we've got to sign him up for unlimited because Mondays, like, I don't have time to do all this and get my work done. So she's like, okay. So I took him out. He had to poop. And my wife signed him up for unlimited doggy daycare so we can take him anytime we want. And so she took him to doggy daycare, and I'm churning out packages left and right. So he went there. I don't know. It was 9 or 10 o'clock when my wife dropped him off. From noon to 2, doggy daycare has quiet time. So they put them all in their crates. It's like nap time. So 2:30, and I always like to check in, but it's usually like between noon and 2 when I want to check in because they have web cameras in each of the rooms that they're in. So I waited till like 2:30, and I checked in, and there's poor Ernie in his crate, like the only dog in his crate. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Now, I understand Ernie doesn't have like the ability to stop playing. Like, he's just going to play, but he's a dog. If he gets tired, he's just going to go chill out. But I don't even know if he's to that point yet. So I'm like, okay, this is annoying. We're also paying. Like, if I want to put him in his crate, I'll keep him here, right? So this is kind of annoying because I've seen this before, but I also understand. But it's like, if he's going to be in his crate half the day, we shouldn't be paying for doggy daycare. So I'm kind of annoyed. At this point, I'm just mildly annoyed. So I'm watching. So I kept the stream up for like 10, 15 minutes, and then they took him out. And so he played. I'm like, okay. So he was just in a timeout, basically. Like, okay, you need to chill, go lay in your crate, take a little snooze, but you need to calm down. So I'm cool. So this is, I don't know what, 2:45. So I pop back in at 3:30. And he's in his crate again. The only dog in his crate again. And I'm like, now this is getting ridiculous. Like, if he's going to spend like most of the hour in his crate, like, why are we paying this place to keep him in his crate? We can do this at home. So now I'm annoyed. So now I'm like texting my wife. I think my wife had texted me. My wife had texted me that she had an appointment, a showing like over near doggy daycare. So she at like 5. So she was going to pick up Ernie after the showing. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, he's in his crate. And I'm like, this is the second time he's been in his crate after nap time. I'm like, this is kind of bullshit. So my wife's upset. I'm upset. And I'm like, I'm going to keep the stream up because I want to see how long they keep him in the crate for. So he's in his crate for, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes, and they bring him out. All right, cool. Okay. So they're giving him like 15-minute timeouts. So he gets out, and of course he's like fucking ready to go. And he's kind of antagonizing. Now, he's 7 pounds. He's not an aggressor. And I do understand. I say that, but I do understand 7-pound dogs can be aggressive. I get it. Ernie is not. Ernie is playfully aggressive. He's not mean aggressive. He's just very playful. So so Ernie's like antagonizing this other dog that's like 5 times his size, and which is only, by the way, which is only 35 pounds. So he's pissing this dog off, and they're going at it, and he's playing for 4 minutes, literally, because I looked at the time check, because I texted my wife when they took him out of the crate. It was like 3:34, and at 3:38 they put him right back in. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. So I said, I texted him, now I'm pissed. Now my blood pressure is rising, and I'm like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna go get him. I've got to run to the post office, but I'm just gonna go pick him up early, because if he's gonna be in his crate most of the afternoon, this is stupid. So I'll just finish this story, and then I'll tell you about my dinner. So I go to the grocery store, I go to the post office, I go to doggy daycare, and I'm like, hey, so I noticed that he was in his crate a lot this afternoon. And of course, the first line of defense from doggy daycare is, well, yes, from noon to 2 is nap time. And I'm like, I understand that, but this was 2:30. Like, he had just come out of a 2-hour nap time, and he was already back in his crate. He was the only dog. And then at 3:30, he was in his crate again. They took him out for 4 minutes because I kept the stream going, and they put him back in his crate. I sound like a helicopter parent, and I hate to be a helicopter dog dad, but we're also paying a service. And if you're just going to keep him crated all day, we're not paying for that. We're paying to wear this little shithead out. So she's like, oh, okay, let me go talk to the coaches. They call them coaches. I'm going to go talk to the coaches and see what was going on today. So she comes back, and she's like, so, like, Ernie's like just a puppy, so he's got a lot of energy, and like, we like to give them timeouts, you know, if we notice they're exerting so much energy. And she's like, but I did give them a note that, you know, you are paying, you know, for him to play, not to be crated. So, you know, we will make note of that going forward, that, you know, keep him out more than that he's not. I'm like, okay, thank you. So, and I said, you know, I do understand, like, he goes 100% all the time, and he doesn't have that stop start switch yet. Hopefully he gets that. We need to do some training. So I don't know if she's like the manager or somebody. She was in an office next door, and she comes out and she's like, so we do have puppy classes on Saturday mornings, and we kind of train, we teach and train that puppies for that on-off switch. And she's like, it's just 3 hours of playtime from 9 to noon on Saturday. I'm like, that's actually perfect, because that's, both my wife and I are usually, if I'm not here, I'm like traveling. So that's actually sounds pretty good. Of course, there's a charter, you know, that's not included in what we're already paying, but maybe it's worth it. I do sound like a travel ball dad. I do. I sound like a helicopter parent watching the nanny cam. Oh, well. So anyway, so that's the Ernie story. So he is going back to doggy. We are taking him back, because my wife's like, should we take? I'm like, let's see if they correct what we feel is wrong. Let's see if they right what we perceive as a wrong. You know, we're paying for a service, and, you know, if they do it again, we will find an alternative solution to another doggy daycare. But let's see if they correct it, and, you know, second chances. I believe in second chances. So that's the doggy daycare Ernie story. So before I went to doggy daycare, I wanted to make a quick run to the grocery store to pick up ingredients to make my homemade pizza that I found on the back of the non bag. So I go to the grocery store. It is fucking crazy. Do not go to the grocery store at 4:00 on a Monday. Holy shit. I will not make that mistake again. So, because I was going to pick up a few things, and I'm like, fuck this. It is a madhouse. I am not doing any additional grocery shopping. So I picked up only what was on my list of ingredients that I needed for my homemade pizza. And I was out the door, off to doggy daycare, come home. The neighbor texts me, like as soon as we got home, like minutes after I got home, the neighbor texted me, is Ernie available to play? And I'm like, well, he's been at doggy daycare, but he was in a crate half the afternoon. Yes, he can play. So, and here's the thing, like I do believe, now we're going back to the doggy story. I do believe he did get plenty of playtime, because usually when he plays with Rookie, our neighbor dog, he's like crazy dog, crazy. And he was like not even in the mood to play. Like he ran over and like they sniffed each other, and then Ernie's like, just chill. And I'm like, okay. So he did get his $25-$30 worth of doggy daycare today. He's tired. And then they eventually, like, Rookie had to like start the play time with Ernie. Usually Ernie's the aggressor. And like egging on Rookie to play. It was Rookie egging on Ernie to play yesterday. And then they did play. You could tell they were both tired. So, but it was good. He burned some more energy off. So I come back in. That is probably accurate. Like that little 7-pound shithead, he keeps fucking with my dog. And I did think of that. I did think of this as I'm watching the doggy cam, and I'm like, I'm upset because Ernie's in his crate the whole time. But I bet the other dog owners that are watching are like, that little fucker, he needs to be crated. This is why I don't have kids. This is why we don't have kids. See, I would be that parent. So I come home. We come in from playtime with Rookie. And Ernie just like flops on the floor, hardwood floor. He does not like, the funny thing is Biscuit loved the softest surfaces, like piles of pillows. Ernie likes the hardwood floor. He's just like, I'm just going to crash right here. It's like, Ernie, he literally has 2 doggy beds. Now, the reason he has 2, he has a third one back here, but he has 2 upstairs. The reason, it's not because we got him 2 doggy beds. One was at my wife's office. So he had a doggy bed at my wife's office. And she switched offices. It's not dog friendly anymore at the new office building. So there's a second doggy bed upstairs. So I come back, we come inside, and I start making the pizza. My wife texts, she's like, what did you find out at doggy daycare? And I'm like, I'm ignoring the text. She says she's on her way home. She's on her way home. I'm making dinner now. Holy shit. I'm adulting. I'm complaining about daycare. I'm making dinner. But I'm not changing my own oil. So come inside. I'm making the pizza. So basically, here's the pizza. So, and the recipe is literally on the back of the bread bag. It's non-homemade, like chicken pesto pizza. So basically the base, so I put some olive oil on the naan, and I just took two things of naan, and then I put some olive oil, and then I didn't follow the measurements because I don't do that. I'm a man. I don't follow instructions. So olive oil, and then on top of the olive oil, I've got some peppers roasting on the stovetop. Now, I looked up I Googled how to roast peppers. Apparently, you have to put them in the oven for like a half an hour. I don't have time for that. So I'm just like, I'm going to cook them on the stovetop in a little frying pan. Put some olive oil in there. Good to go. Roasting peppers on the stovetop. So then I put down some basil pesto. And so that's that's like the sauce. So we've got olive oil, basil pesto, some black olives, grilled chicken breast. Now I use like the Tyson already cooked bag. So you only have to cook them for like 5 minutes because it's like pre-cooked. And then basically you can, I think, microwave this shit. I'm sure it's like got a paragraph long of shit that you shouldn't put in your body, but I don't care. We're making pizza. I threw on the roasted pepper and then mozzarella cheese, shredded mozzarella cheese, just layered that motherfucker with some mozzarella cheese. Stick it in the oven. By this time, my wife comes home and she's like, so my wife is like very like she has to be in control, especially in the kitchen. That's why I wanted to make it before she got home, because she'd be like, she would commandeer the entire process. And I wanted to do this. So my wife's like, so what's all in this? And I'm like, da, 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 da. And she's like, well, I don't like black olives. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna. And she's like, no, I can pick them out. I'm like, I can find them. I can find them. So I'm picking the black olives out. And she's like, well, what's the frying pan for? And I'm like, well, I was roasting peppers. And I'm like, I understand you probably roast peppers in the oven, but I didn't have time for that. So I wanted to roast them on the stovetop. Okay, good to go. She's like, okay, this sounds kind of good. So I put it in the oven. She's like, how long? And I'm like, not that long. And she's like, well, the chicken's not cooked. And I'm like, it's the Tyson chicken. And she's like, isn't it frozen? I said, no, you buy it in the refrigerated section. She's like, oh, you didn't use the stuff that's in the freezer? No, because I didn't want to thaw it out. So I bought fresh. So it took a little longer because I put more cheese, I think, than what the ingredients called for. Like, I'm not following their ingredients. I'm going to make up my own. So layered it on. Nice golden brown cheese. Pull it out. Looks good. Looks great. Looks like a pizza. So my wife turns Jeopardy on, and I'm like, because it's kind of like a small piece, and I'm like, do you want me to cut it? But naan is like all like fucking weird. So I'm like, I can cut it into something, squares maybe. You might get a square, you might get a triangle because it's like awkward. So slice it up. Serve it super hot. We got to wait. Blow on the pizza. Cool it down. My wife takes a bite. She's like, it's fucking hot. Like, I know. Just came out of the oven. So we wait. She takes a bite. She's like, this is good. I take a bite. I'm like, this doesn't have much taste to it. And she's like, that's why I like it. We're like pizza. I want bursting with flavor pizza. My wife, no. My wife wants like no taste. She wants mozzarella and basil, pesto, and that's it. She'd be happy with like just cheese and pesto. So I'm like, yeah, this is, and she's like, you're going to make this. She's like, you're going to make this again. I'm like, fuck. Oh, I'm going to make my own the next time. I'm going to like put some sausage on it and put some fucking red sauce, mushrooms. She's like, this is really good. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. So I'm like, there's more. And normally I would just like eat the shit. If it was a normal pizza, I'd go eat the shit out of it. I'm like, there's more. And she's like, I know. So that clued me in that she's going to eat leftovers today. My wife does not typically eat leftovers, so she can have that pizza. I'll eat a salad. I don't know. So that was my night of pizza. It's fun. Like, I didn't realize, like, pizza is always, I love pizza, but I've never made, I think my wife and I have made a pizza, like maybe a couple times we've done pizza. But I don't think it's certainly not something that I've done more than I can count on one hand. But I'd like to do this going forward. It's pretty easy. Like in the naan, it's got it's like a good pizza crust to it. So I might try this more as we go into winter, the cold weather months. Going to be inside a lot. Don't want to go pick up carry out because it's fucking cold in the winter time. So maybe try to enhance my pizza making skills. Somebody on Twitter said, is it as good as Casey's taco pizza? Fuck no. It doesn't hold. The pizza I made last night sucked. Casey's taco pizza is the GOAT. So yeah. So Max says, don't you want all food to be flavorful? Fuck yes, I do. I do. My wife doesn't. My wife just wants no flavor. Like she wants flavor. And I shouldn't say that because on Sunday night, she made a vodka sauce that was really good and really really flavorful. So I shouldn't just say she doesn't like flavor. Philly Joe says, oh man, too much work. I just order a pizza and pick it up. Now, normally that's what I do. Like 999 times out of 1,000, this happened to be the one. But it was actually kind of fun. It was kind of fun. Unicorn Cupcake says, who needs flavorful food when you can put some crappy sauce on it? There you go. I do like basil pesto, but it's not really bursting with flavor. Not really bursting with flavor. Minneapolis Kid has some advice. A secret tip for pizza sauce: mash up a couple sardines into the sauce. Interesting. Now, what type does that burst with flavor? I am not anti-sardine. Cooter says, I've become a fan of making homemade pizza. I will be happy to make pizza during your visit, or we can order from the menu I sent you and spent that time looking at cards. Menu, cards. 100%. Menu and cards. Let's go to the chat. We're going to talk about what you are buying, and please buy from my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Help me offset yesterday's terrible day on eBay. Wow. I had a shitty sales day on Monday. Even with my auctions, and I had a couple decent auctions end. I think it's 7:00 as my auctions were starting to end. I was at like 25% of my goal, which is like unheard of. The only time I've had that slow of sales is if I'm at spring training in Europe. That's about it. I did end up getting close to my goal, but I was still short. I don't know, 80% of my goal. But I've put together a string of like 3 really shitty days. Saturday, I actually outpaced Saturday. Sunday, I got just a little higher than my target. And we're off to, actually today we're off to a decent start. I had some overnight sales, so we're off to a decent start. I think right now I have more in sales than what I had by like 3:00 yesterday afternoon. That's how bad Monday was. So check out my store, 99centcards.com. If for anything, just see why people aren't buying my shit. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price, save 25% off at checkout. It's finally coming back because I've had a stretch of like 3 or 4 straight months of just phenomenal sales. So I'm expecting to slow down at some point, but I've got some auctions ending tonight. Of course, we stream live at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. I've got some good auctions ending tonight. I don't have anything scheduled yet, but I will get some auctions scheduled for tonight. We'll have I'll aim to get 75. I did list some new auctions last night. I think it was all football. Yes, I think, right? Yes. And I also, before we get to the chat, I know we're 30 minutes in, but I tried to hit some. I've got, actually, we'll just kind of piggyback. We will say hi to the chat since we're 28 minutes in. But I also want to talk about a new my inventory. It's starting to get inefficient. My inventory is starting to get inefficient because of my auctions. It's only my auction. My buy it now is, super efficient, but it's my auctions that are slowing me down at times. And I think I found a way to combat that, which is basically using the same SKU system as my buy it now item. So I'll share that. Let's say hi to George. What's going on? He's buying Albert Pujols at 30 to 50 cents each. How about that? Philly Joe is here. He says, good morning. Steel Cards in the house. Good morning. Victor, what's going on? Good morning. Christian, good morning. He's live for the first time in a while. Welcome back. Bill Simus is here. Good morning. Steel Card says, buying Justin Steele, namesake, Dan Marino, and 67 Topps baseball. Very cool. Very cool. Johnny M says, good morning. Mailings, PO, Tractor Supply, all done. Grocery store now. Love that it's all on the way to the post office. So mileage is tax deductible. There you go. There you go. That's called bundling. Good morning, Mr. Archer. David, what's going on? Mr. Archer says, as always, I'm buying Cubs cards. Hey, I don't know if you've checked out my Collects store, but over on the Collects app, Collx, I've got a whole bunch of Cubs cards, Cubs singles in my Collect store, all at 99 cents. If you want to bundle them up, there's deals. You can send like basically it's called like a deal on Collects. You can send deals, and I usually accept those. So check out my Collect store. I'm going to try to get some more inventory added to Collects later this week. Right now, the focus is shipping and then auctions tonight. And then I want to get some buy it nows into my eBay store, and then I'll tackle adding more Cubs cards to my Collect store. Bill says, I thought you didn't like going to the Chicago Spectacular. I don't. I don't really like the Chicago Spectacular. And here's why. So last, I used to go every March and November up until, and then COVID hit. And then after COVID, my card show, I could not secure the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. I could not secure it the weekends I wanted it. And so I had to run it the same weekend as the Spectacular. So there was a stretch of, I think, 3 straight shows that I had a card show the same weekend. So obviously I didn't go. Then I went. And I think I bought, now normally pre-COVID when I would go, I would buy, and I think I went at some point right after COVID. I think I went to one of the shows and it was like just a shell of its former self from what I buy, from a buying standpoint, from what I buy at bargain boxes. And I would spend usually probably $1,000, if not more, at the Spectacular. When I went last November, I spent $20. Now I ended up spending a little more than that, but the rest of the money I spent was at the very end, and it was on like just random shit. It wasn't on like cards. Well, I guess I bought like a tin of Topps Archives. Remember when the lunchbox? I bought one of those, and I bought a T-shirt at the very end. But the $20 I spent at the beginning of the show was on 3 Venezuelans of players that were Cubs players. That's all I bought. There were like the bargain boxes that were there were not bargains. So I did not spend any money, hardly any money last year at the Spectacular. I think all told, I spent like right at $100 because I think the Archives tin was like 60, maybe 50, maybe 40. I can't remember what those tins cost. It was probably around 50. 20 on the Vennies, so that's 70. And then I think the T-shirt I bought was like 10 or 15 because it was on clearance. It was a Cub. Was it a Cub shirt? I can't even remember what shirt I bought. So I think I spent less than $100. So at that point, it's like I'm not going to the March show because it's just going to be a waste of time. But I thought, you know what? I did enjoy it. I did enjoy going, but I was also in town for another event. So it was just kind of like, here I am. If I was going specifically, like I was not planning on coming to this Spectacular for the purpose of buying. I was thinking about it, but it's like, I'm going to be in Dallas at the beginning of November. Like there's no reason to go to Dallas and the Spectacular. So I was like tossing around the idea, like, well, depends what I do in Dallas, what I buy in Dallas. I may go check out the Spectacular. It's November. We'll see. And then now normally I wouldn't, and then, you know, I've got, so Dallas the first weekend in November, and then Rockford the second weekend where I'm just setting up, but usually I buy, and then I've got a weekend off, and then the week after the Spectacular is the Madison Card Show. So it's like, I've got plenty going on in the month of November. I'm not going to go to Chicago. And then my friend Wally reached out and said, hey, we can't use our table on Sunday. We're going to the Packers game. Do you want to use it? Shit, yeah, I'll take a free table to the Spectacular and take some quarter boxes. So I'll go down to Chicago on Saturday afternoon. I'll walk the show floor for a little bit. I'll pick up the dealer passes from Wally, and stay overnight and then go set up. And I wonder if I can bring my stuff. I probably can bring my stuff in at the end of the day on Saturday. That would be even better. I'll look into that. So So that's why I'm going. Otherwise, if it wasn't for a free vendor table, I would not be going. But the only reason I'm going is because I can set up for nothing on Sunday. So I'll just go in early and I'll walk the floor. Going to be there anyway. Might as well see what they have. So that's the deal. Mark Marinello says, good morning. Haven't bought much in a while. If anything, filling in some multiple 1970s baseball sets. Very fun. That's what I've actually been doing. I'm not a set builder. I still am not a set builder, but I've taken on a lot of vintage here over the last few months. And then I decided to build the 74 baseball set, 74 Topps baseball. I'm still working on it. I picked up a couple commons that I needed at Saturday's show. I may have them, but they're listed on eBay. I've gone through and I've taken some off eBay that I know that I need to fill in. I need to tackle that. That's on my eventually get to list, so I can list a complete set. Because I had listed a partial set, and I'm like, I've got quite a few. Like, I'm going to see. This would be fun to go through because I needed a lot of commons. I did need a lot of the rookies and the stars because I had sold those. And I picked up a few off eBay. I picked a bunch off some various dealers. I think from the 74s, I bought from 3 dealers at the September Madison card show. I bought from Tony, Sean, and Matt. I bought 2 more cards from Tony this past weekend. So it's actually kind of fun sitting down and going through a box or a binder looking for the 74s I need. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I can really get down to what I need. And then I'm going to spend most of my time in Dallas looking at bargain boxes. But if I see some vintage, maybe I will do a fill in. But I've got dealers that have vintage set fills, just a couple dealers, but usually they're restocking and I can find what I need. Sal Doggy, good morning. Great show again on Saturday. Thanks for coming out. I did not get to see you. I did not see you. Isn't that crazy? Like a monthly card show, and I'm there the entire day, and I don't see somebody that's at the show. Like, I didn't even see you. I asked East Coast Tom at the end of the day because I think he mentioned you, and I'm like, Abraham was here? I didn't even see him. Like, I didn't even see you. Like, I saw Tim, who used to set up as a dealer, early in the morning. I didn't get a chance to go say hi, and then I didn't see him again. So it was a busy day, a lot of people. I'm glad you came out. I'm bummed that I didn't get to talk to you. He bought from Diamond quarter boxes mostly. Very nice. Johnny M says Allen and Ginter's case, and that's it till next year until it's a knock your socks off deal. Trying to pare down to 50,000 sellable cards in inventory. I like it. I do have a case of Allen and Ginter coming as well. I think release date's October 30th. Hopefully I get that. My pre-order. Did I get that from Blowout or from Topps? I can't remember where I ordered that. I think I did order it from Topps. Yes, I did order it from Topps. Hopefully I get it the day of release or the day before. And I can get that ripped and flipped before I fly to Oklahoma City on Friday, November 1st. But Johnny, you mentioned something great. Like, that's kind of where, like, I'm always buying. Like, I'm always buying. And I'm going to talk about why I'm always buying. I'm going to be buying in Dallas, obviously. I'm probably going to end up buying in Rockford the following weekend. As we get closer to Black Friday in the month of November, Blowout Cards has some great deals on their website. I'll probably be buying. Do I need the inventory? No. But when these deals come along and I can move them, I will buy them. And kind of going, I'll just hit it now. What I bought 30-some thousand cards on Saturday at the Madison Card Show. Well, why do I need 30,000 cards? And what I bought, I probably have 30,000 or more of this stuff already, but it's not sorted. This was already sorted by player. I've got a buyer that I can move some of this to. I'm going to move some of it myself. I've listed some player lots on eBay because it's already sorted for me. The only thing I need to do is, okay, these are different cards. So 50 different cards or 100 different cards or 25 different, whatever it might be. I'm going to put some in quarter boxes. I'm going to put some in my collects inventory probably. But when you have buyers and you can move it in different, like that's just an easy deal to make. And that's why I'm always buying. And I'm looking to buy like just kind of on the side, like some of this stuff is PC. Obviously, I'm always buying for my PC, but stuff like Tree Rollins autograph. We're getting into basketball season starts anytime now. We got Kurt Warner. So this stuff I bought, and that's bought to flip. Now it's going to be small margin, but it's better than buying. It's better than just selling my own inventory, selling inventory that I already have. That's, I don't have like that stuff. I don't have in my inventory. I might have some similar stuff. I don't have that exact stuff, but that's why I'm always fresh in the inventory, fresh in my own inventory, just trying to scale up on, better items, instead of buying, listing dollar cards, or essentially quarter cards in my eBay store. I've got some $5 to $10 stuff, maybe $20 stuff, whatever the market says. Todd's here. Good morning. Currently saving up for some Cooper Flag cards. As a UNC fan, that's hard for me to admit. Oh boy, a Dookie. I think he's a preseason All-American. I have not looked. This is the first time in a long time that I have not paid super close attention to the preseason poll and the preseason All-Americans. We're still in shit. We're only a few weeks away from the start of there's probably exhibition games starting up. Let's see when the first Badger exhibition game is here at Wisconsin Badgers basketball. And every year I'm like, I'm going to go to 5 games this year. And I don't go to any, or I think I went to 2 last year. Monday, November 4th, already the first Badger game. And that's a regular season game against Holy Cross. And then Montana State. October 30th is the first exhibition game. So one exhibition game against Wisconsin River Falls, Holy Cross, Montana State, Appalachian State. And then Arizona's coming to town. Wow, November 15th, Arizona at UW. And then you got a Patsy on a few days later against Rio Grande Valley, however you'd like to pronounce it. Let's see. Thanks. I love the Thanksgiving tournaments. They're playing at the Greenbrier Resort. I don't even know where that is. Let's click on travel packages. Greenbrier Tip-Off, Mountain Division, Wisconsin, Pitt, UCF, and LSU. Oh, wow. Tennessee Tech's playing in that. I just want to know where it's at. It's in West Virginia. Who wants to go to West Virginia in November? Oh, man. Well, other teams are in Maui, in the Bahamas. Wisconsin's in West Virginia. Boo. All right. So college basketball. When's the NBA start? Talking about basketball. I'm getting ready to list a batch of basketball at auction. I'm just waiting for tip-off. NBA opening night. I'm kind of excited, but again, oh shit, tonight. Wow. Opening night is tonight. Well, maybe I'll throw we'll throw some basketball in tonight's auctions as well. Since they end first week of the start of the season. So what do we got going on tonight? We got Knicks and Celtics. That doesn't really matter. Anyway, opening night NBA tonight. Wow. John says in prison, we call that getting sent to the hole. Talking about Ernie at Doggy Daycare. Brian says, good morning. I'm buying those dog cards as soon as I can. So Allen and Ginter has Westminster dog kennel cards in this year's set. And for those that don't know, Allen and Ginter is kind of goes off of what the original Allen and Ginter back in 1887 had in their sets. Guess what? It wasn't all baseball cards. If you want baseball cards, buy other products. Buy Bowman, buy Topps, buy Heritage, buy those cards. Allen and Ginter, if you want wacky shit, buy Allen and Ginter. People complain every year. Oh, I don't want cards of dogs. I want baseball cards. Well, don't buy this product. Gundy, good morning. Sound like a travel ball dad. Cooter says, already been in the office for an hour because it's going to be one of those days. Oof. I don't envy that. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Yes, talking about Ernie at doggy daycare. Shane says, this is hilarious, not going to lie. Tracy, good morning. John says his guy loves all of his beds. He also loves the hardwood at times, as I think it's cooler to lie on. Dog beds get warm. I think that's what Ernie's deal is. So Ernie, and the difference between Biscuit and Ernie, Biscuit was super skinny. Like, she hated to eat. Like, only dog I've ever met that didn't like food. So Biscuit was skinny, and mainly that. Ernie's got some chunk to him. Like, he's a growing boy. He likes to eat. Now, he doesn't love to eat. He eats when he's hungry. And he's not hungry all the time. Like, sometimes, like, dude, you haven't eaten all day. And then all of a sudden he'll go eat a bowl. It's like, are you still hungry? And fill it up some more. It's like, okay. So he's having breakfast, lunch, and dinner all at one time. But he's not a chunk. I think he's healthy size for where he's at. But I think that's why he likes the heart. And he seems like he has a more fur than what Biscuit had. Maybe that's just because he's like bigger. I don't know. But I think he likes the hardwood floor because it's cooler. Zach says you should treat doggy daycare like Amy treats your day downstairs. As long as you stay out of her way and out of trouble, all is well. There's some truth to that. A lot of truth to that. Johnny says, I run all my errands in the morning. Stores are empty. I'm home by 10. The rest of the day is for whatever the fuck I feel like doing. Life is good. Can't beat that. See, I do the opposite, and I like tackle the day in the morning with my work. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to the post office when it's the busiest, and I go to the grocery store when it's the busiest. I'm a glutton for punishment. And I'll probably keep doing it. Although I do although Costco was busy at 10 a.m. Like, when Costco opened, and that was on a random, Wednesday or Thursday, like 10 a.m. Orlando's here. What's going on? Good morning. Unicorn Cupcakes in the house. What's happening? Mark Marinello says, my 100-pound German Shepherd and 85 Bully think they're still lap dogs. I can't lay on my sofa without company. And my 7-pound Ernie thinks he's 100 pounds. He thinks he's a huge dog. Max wants all food to be flavorful. Amen to that. Philly Joe says, too much work. I just order pizza and pick it up. Good morning, Offbeat All-Stars in the house. Who needs flavorful food when you can just put crappy sauce on it, right? Where are we at? Oh, we hit Cooter's comment earlier. Secret tip for pizza sauce, mash up a couple sardines. We hit that one. Balsamic drizzle is good for the Frankenstein pizza. Covers up a lot of mistakes. Minneapolis Kid says you won't taste the fish. It's like that savory flavor like MSG. Interesting. Dan is buying stocks. You should buy crypto. You should buy Bitcoin. Where's Low Roller Scratcher? Zach says, is Frank still cool with staying at your place when you were visiting Cooter? I had to think, I'm like, what are you talking about, Frank? Good morning, Flawed Thinkers in the house. I've sold 6 items this month. My worst month all year. That's a bummer. John says, eBay algo is punishing me for listing with Collex, COLLX. Yeah. It's part of the roller coaster, man. My month actually is let's see. Let's go to sales data. I'm actually having a really good month this month, and we'll compare it to the same period over last month, October 1st through the 22nd. My net sales down 11%. Quantity sold is up 1%. Now let's take that same period last year. Net sales. Come on, buddy. So here's my October compared to last year. October 2024 compared to October 2023. Net sales up 89%. Quantity sold up 23%, 22.5%. So that's the difference between this year and last year. So I'll take it. And I did have my September was great. Year to date, I am still trending. I'm really making a push to hit some numbers. Same period last year. So year to date, my net sales are up 37%, and my quantity sold is just barely above what I did last year in quantity sold. So that tells me that's great because my average sales price is up a significant amount. So I'm actually doing well. It's just the last couple days have been slow, but it's also because I haven't been listing a lot of buy it. I've listed a few buy it nows. I've got a small stack that I listed that I pulled, and I've actually sold some stuff. So the stuff that I sold, I actually, I paid less than $3 for that. That sold last night for 15. What else? Steve and Quan, I paid $275 for that. Sold for 4. Stanton rookie sold for 5. Again, I paid $275 for that. Page rookie sold for $5. I paid $275. Bonds rookie I sold for 15. I think that's what's sold out of that stack. So I have made some sales on stuff that I've recently listed. I do need to do some more batches on both eBay and Collects. I haven't listed on Collects in over a week, almost 2 weeks. So I really need to get some stuff listed. I still have piles of Cubs cards that are ready to be listed on Collects that need to get over there. Shane says, a tale as old as time. eBay has been messing with their site for the last week, which always equals our sales getting messed with. Been a yo-yo last week. Okay, so I'm glad to hear this. Well, I'm not glad to hear it, but I'm glad there's some reasoning. And we always find like, why are my sales down? And sometimes it is the way it is. Most of the time when sales are down, it's because of what we are doing. But yesterday was an anomaly. Now my Saturday sales, that was par for the course for Saturday. Actually, if you look back at the last few Saturdays, my Saturday sales are generally right there, whether I'm at a card show or whether I'm listing and shipping. So that was not out of the ordinary, but yesterday was. Yesterday was very out of the ordinary. When you're doing 25% of your normal day, that's like quirky. That's quirky. And usually there is a correlation when it's that much of a difference. There's a correlation with eBay changing some things on the seller dashboard. They're messing with things on the back end, and it does affect sellers. It does affect sellers. Hopefully this doesn't last long. And what were my John Keating loves impressions. So let's do an impressions report because I did check my impressions last night, and this is the impressions is the telltale sign of something being off. So we'll look at my traffic. My traffic is significantly down. Fortunately, my sales aren't down, but my traffic is. So let's do. Yesterday was what, the 21st? I keep fat fingering. Okay, there we go. 21, 2024. We're just going to isolate it to one day. 2024. Now, typically my average, so it wasn't, this is not an anomaly. So my impressions were down 7% yesterday, little over 500,000 impressions for the day. My quantity sold was down 30%. So that's an outlier. But for a Monday, let's see, what was the Monday prior? October. So 502,000 was my impressions yesterday. So let's look at October 14th. I like to compare days of the week and not Sunday to Monday, because typically you're going to have more impressions on a Sunday than you are a Monday. 10/24 impressions were 544,000. So really, my traffic was about the same. Now, last Monday, I made a lot more sales, but I think I had a probably a significant amount of auctions. Does it isolate auctions on here? Quantity sold doesn't show between auction or buy it now. So yeah. So all in all, I guess it was kind of even. It just might have been one of those days. Could have been something on the back end. Might have just been nobody's buying from my store because the buyers just weren't out. Max says, too much. I'm buying too much. 11 5-rows from Madison last weekend. Oops. Done with 3 already, though. Yeah, I bought, I think all mine were 4 rows. How many did I end up with? I think I bought 8 4-rows. 8 4-rows. Let's see. I'm buying Frank Thomas cards, apparently, says John Keating. Unicorn Cupcake says, slowly buying the print run from 1916 to 1968 of Who's Who in baseball magazines. Very cool. I used to love that. That was one of the magazines I would pick up at the Book Emporium when I was buying wrestling magazines. I would also buy the Who's Who in baseball. I love those stat books. So this was what years would that have been? Probably 95, 96, 97, somewhere in there. Dave Arnold's in the house. Bushnell, Prairie City. He's buying 70s Hostess cards. Very nice. King Ashua. Good morning. Love the dog in the pic. I love those glasses. Good morning. What time do you start streaming? 7 a.m. Central Time. And today is Tuesday, so we stream again at 7 p.m. Central coming up tonight. And tonight on Tuesdays, we will count down my auctions. My Tuesday night auctions on eBay. So we'll count those eBay auctions down starting at 7 p.m. Central this evening. And then days of the week, we go at 7 a.m. Central, weekdays, I should say. And then weekends are kind of up in the air. Bill says those Archives lunchbox tins were awesome. Yes, they were. And you could sell the tin. You could get some of your money back, recoup it with the tins. Mark's still trying to find the 1964 Topps Giants Koufax and Mays at a decent price. Unicorn Cupcake says also looking for the E101 and E102 versions of E92s that I can no longer afford. I'm not familiar with. I probably am. I'm still not. And I bought the book. I bought the encyclopedia from Unicorn Cupcake at one of the Madison card shows. I need to brush up on more pre-war knowledge. Because I know the T's. I'm not familiar with the E's. I know the T202s and the T205s and the 6s. I'm going to look up E101 baseball card. 1909 set of 50 E101s. So is this, oh, those are cool. Probably expensive. There's a Frank Chance. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I don't think I have any E101s. I can probably look. I know I don't have the Frank Chance. The only others I would have would be Johnny Evers. Let's see. Do I have this card? Let's share my screen so you're not like, well, I hate watching videos. There's a couple streams that I watch and they talk about cards and don't show the cards on screen. It's like, and then I have to Google. So try not to do that. So, I love that card. That's a good looking card. I wonder if there's any on eBay. And let's see how expensive they are. Johnny Evers, E101. I've learned that a lot. Wow, there's a raw copy for $285. That's actually cheaper than I expected. I wonder if but I'm wary of buying raw copies in case it's like fragile and SGC won't slab it. This one, there's a big crease in the, here, we'll just share the tab. There's a big crease right down the middle. Oh, well, it's got a clean back too, so there's no paper loss. I'm going to add that to the watch list. That's a cool card. And then I'd submit that to SGC. So I don't have that. Let's see. So there's Chance and Evers. Is there a Tinker? So Joe Tinker, I've kind of got like this side PC of Joe Tinker going on. I mean, if Chance and Evers are in there, there's got to be a Tinker, right? There is. There's no picture of it. Heine Zimmerman. Let's see what he looks like. There you go. I do not have Heine. Let's look at Joe Tinker, E101. we got to share this tab. Low pop. So there's a PSA 2 for $777.77. Those are cool cards. Dan says, my Korean team, the Samsung Lions, that I haven't followed the last few years, is in the Korean series versus the Kia Tigers. Hey, they do the dance, right? The Kia Tigers dance. Orlando says, pre-war has gotten expensive. Yes. And, it's like I remember buying T206 commons for like $10, like all day. That wasn't that long ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And then I remember getting back into them coming out of COVID. And it's like, oh man, they're expensive, but I'll buy a few. And now it's like, damn, like the Cap Anson example. I had a chance to buy a clean SGC1 for $1,200, but I only wanted to pay $1,000. I offered $1,000. It was at like $2,700 at the time. This would have been in March of 2021. And I declined, or I countered, or I offered $1,000. It was $2,700. I offered $1,000. They countered it $1,200, and I declined. My biggest regret from a buying standpoint. I don't have that might be my only baseball card regret. That is it. And now there's now authentic, altered are 35 to 4,000. There was one on Twitter. I've seen one on Facebook, probably the same one, for 3,700, and it's an authentic altered. It's like, oh, swing and a miss. That dude from Duryea says, is there much trading between us folks in the chat? I can probably help out with those 70 sets. Networking is the key. Absolutely. I'm not sure if you're in the Facebook group. Probably a good way to go about would be in the Facebook group, Hobby Evolution on Facebook. John says, West Virginia, White Sulphur Springs. That's where the Greenbrier is. Max says, yes, Flag has been on the map since he was at least a freshman. Can't wait to see him dominate the ACC. Greenbrier is where Congress was supposed to be sheltered from a nuclear war. Interesting. Nice little nugget of trivia from that 70s card show. I only go to West Virginia for Mountain Mamas. John's been there a few times. Fascinating. Unique even. Shane says, what am I buying? Apparently 25 to 30,000 cards from a hobby YouTuber. Wink, wink. I've got a whole bunch of them. So yeah, here's what I put. These are on, I put these on eBay. So like Tim Duncan, some Tim Duncans, Dirk Nowitzki. So there's that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly, football and basketball. Speaking of Costco, the downtown oversized cards are crashing. Yes, I had to send Brian a message last night. I think a Travis Kelce oversized downtown sold for, what was it, $18 shipped yesterday. So yeah, crash. It's like, man, imagine if you bought those over the weekend and you're now just listing them and like you're taking a bath. Now, I mean, it's still like if you're guaranteed like $53 was the store price. Now, if you bought on the secondary market and paid $100, then shit. But if you got them in store for $53, it's still a good deal. Like, I mean, you're guaranteed at minimum an $18 sale. Now you're not going to net $18, but you know, if you pull an $18 card out of a blaster, like I'd be pretty damn happy. Now out of like a $30 blaster, not a $20 blaster, I guess you have to kind of do the numbers there, but it's still good. I mean, that's still a good return on an X, and then you get 80 cards on top of that, which I don't know what the market is going on regular cards, but you know, it's still a few days in, and they haven't released retail like Walmart retail. Like let's just look at Donruss football. Let's just share the screen. Try to find. Streaming. Okay, let's do sold. Where are we at? We'll do sold, and then so that's Donruss Elite. I don't know. Are those? I don't know if those are Isaac Guerrero rated rookie 250. Well, plus shipping 375 on that sale. So that's pretty good. Caleb Will. I thought those Caleb Williams would go for higher. Best offer was accepted on $20. So there's a Lamar Jackson, big downtown, sold for 30 shipped. Josh Allen's down to 40 shipped. Jordan Love at 40 shipped. So that's still good return. The Terry Bradshaw, I think that was one of the duds early on. Probably down to $15-20. So there you go. But still, the oversized downtown, even if you sold it today, you're getting a fraction of the market that you would have got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, any day prior to today, and more than tomorrow likely. Still a good return. Porter says, good morning. I'm glad I no longer have to pay for doggy daycare. It was costing me more than human daycare. Oof. I thought human daycare. So we're paying a lot more now because we're doing unlimited, but it was basically before when we were doing 2 days a week, it was just under $300 a month. So about $300 a month on doggy daycare. Now it's probably closer to $500, which is a lot of money. But it's like the thing is with the doggy daycare, like that's a lot of money. But for me to actually run my business, like it's needed right now. Like this isn't going to be, we're not going to be sending him to doggy daycare 3 days a week in perpetuity. But as he's a puppy, he needs to burn that energy. He needs to play because he's a puppy. It's not fair to have him locked up in this room as I'm shipping and listing and shipping. So it's a necessity, and I don't have the time to play with him all day. So doggy daycare is a business expense. I don't know if I can actually write it off as a business expense, but it's certainly helping me run my business. My sales always boom during the week of new product release. Absolutely. Last week was great due to updates. Stale inventory is moving too. Looking forward to the Allen and Ginter bump, then Stadium Club. And that's a great point. Like, new product is not isolated to just selling that new product. I always see a bump in my other inventory when I list new product, whether it's Top Series 1, Top Series 2, Topps Update, Allen and Ginter, Archives, Bowman. I see a bump. Now, the more sought after the product, the more sales I see, the more outside sales that I see. Top Series 1, probably the biggest driver because everybody's looking for Topps, the new Top Series 1. Bowman drives a ton because people are looking for Bowman. Allen and Ginter, kind of a niche market, but it still does drive, and especially the people that collect. I think now that I talk this out, I've got a bunch of older Ginter that when Ginter releases, there's going to be Ginter collectors that are going to be buying Ginter, and they're like, oh, I'm going to see what else he has in his store for Allen and Ginter. And you'll get some Allen and Ginter sales from previous years by those set builders that are, I need the new product, but hey, I'm missing, he's got what I need from last year or 5 years ago, whatever it might be. So now that I talk about that, I've got a whole bunch of, I think, 2009 Allen and Ginter that I'll go ahead and get listed this week. Andy Mack says, I'm buying Hall of Fame wide receiver rookies for my son's birthday. He's turning 11. Very cool. Robert's in the house. Am I the only one having problems getting Card Dealer Pro to recognize NBA Phoenix cards? I think that might have been brought up in the Discord. I pop into the Discord every once in a while, and I think I saw that brought up in the Discord. There's certain sets. I don't know when NBA Phoenix was released. If it's a new release, there's multiple reasons why AI, whether it's Card Dealer Pro, whether it's Chronazio, whether it's one of those pricing apps, there's multiple reasons why the AI may get confused. The number one reason is if it's a new product. Like, I don't know how new of a product it is. Sometimes it might be up to 2 months before it recognizes new product. Usually it's in the database, but as far as because it needs to see, the AI needs to be, the AI has to be trained basically to identify the images. So it's not like us where it's like, oh, that's 2024 Phoenix. So I don't know if Phoenix is a new release or it's all Phoenix cards or what. It might not be in the database for whatever reason. It could, Bowmans have trouble because sometimes they see that the AI sees that first, and it goes to first edition, and that's why I've suggested, like, hey, can we before we scan, like, say I'm scanning NBA Phoenix, it's already in your checklist, like, it may not recognize it, but at least instead of it saying this is NBA hoops or whatever, like, at least it knows these are all NBA Phoenix. Or I'm listing all 1986 Topps cards. I don't want it to bring up Opeachy. So I want to tell it, okay, these are 1986. So it's like an override at the before, it's overriding at the start, where this is not Opeachy. This is Topps. This is not Leaf. It's Donruss from the same era. Dan sold some 80s rookies to a colleague and transferred that money to the brokerage. Very nice. Unicorn Cupcake. It is often some same photos, but different backs in these sets. Look up the Christy Mathewson. It's my number one wanted card. Very cool. Dot Miller Fielding is a great card too. Maddie is beautiful and horizontal. Maddie is not even my favorite player, but that card with good color and registration would be an all-time find. AA cards in the house. Good morning. Not sure I can explain this correctly, but selling on collects. I have my weight set for 1 ounce raw in top loader and 4 ounce graded slab. I sold 3 cards. It charged me 3 ounces for the order, 1 ounce per card. That's because you had 1 ounce set as your settings. You said it in your first statement. I have my weight set for 1 ounce raw in top loader. So if you sold 3 cards, that's 3 ounces. So that's why. You've got to reset you've got to set it to, like, I think I have mine set for like 0.2. So that's why it did that. I think I told you that. I think because you'd asked that question, and I think I set mine to 0.2 ounces. Cooter says, before they came to Oklahoma for the land run, my father's family lived in Greenbrier County, home of the bunker. Very cool. Porter says, now is a good time for you to finally buy a GoPro and maybe a chest rig ahead of the Dallas show. You'd be able to make good content without sacrificing your personal show experience. I don't want to do that. Dan says, I stopped collecting wide receiver rookies. I may have some you'd be interested in. Max says there isn't an option to do that. I think that would be one of the first things installed in a program like that. Set lock. No, there's not. I wish there was. They are working on it. So my auctions, I mentioned this earlier. I'm now getting kind of inefficient with my inventory when it comes to auctions. And here's why. Some auctions, I don't list a SKU. If I'm using Card Dealer Pro to list my auctions, I have my SKU and it's super easy. But it's the cards like this, if I listed auction from my phone, that I don't list the SKU. So that's a me problem. Like, I need to be listing on a SKU, but I also need to correct my me problem. So I have auctions ending 1017. I don't like too many characters. And I think Paul Carl mentioned this when I first went to my SKU system, because I wanted like dates. I wanted like baseball. I wanted like, these were cards I got at the Madison Card Show November. Like, I wanted to get way too, you've got to apply the KISS principle, the KISS method, whatever it is, principle, method, strategy. Keep it simple, stupid. So I try to get fancy with it. I dated it, and it's like 10, 22, 20. Oh, wait. And then you look at, oh, this is 2023. And so it required too much thinking, like 10, 22, go, you think, blah, 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 blah. 29A, KISS. Keep it simple. So auctions ending 1017, auctions ending 1022. It's like, okay, So I'm going through, it's just too complicated. And I don't care. Frankly, I don't care when the dates were. So I finally decided to just keep it simple with my auctions, like I do with my Buy It Now. And I've got an auctions box. So I've got one box relegated to all my auctions. And instead of the auctions box, it's now going to be box 29. So 29A were auctions that started last night. I guess, these were the football cards. So I've got a Joe Thomas rookie. Do I have any wide receiver rookies in here? I've got a LaShawn McCoy rookie, a Brian Urlacher rookie, Clinton Portis. So far, no wide receivers. Ed Reed rookie. So there's some Hall of Fame rookies in here. This was I didn't realize this is a black refractor. Jonathan Stewart, black refractor rookie. It's numbered to 10. So that's up for auction. I've got a Marvin Harrison Pinnacle Zenith rookie. That's in my eBay auctions, 99centcards.com. I've got a Boomer Esiason rookie. I know he's a quarterback, but that's pretty cool. I've got T.Y. Hilton. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He will be a Hall of Famer, though. Got Donovan McNabb rookies. Any other wide receiver rookies? I got some autographs. Eric Ainge and John Skelton, some quarterbacks. Let's see. I got a Jaden Daniels. I got a Tim Brown numbered to 299. Not a rookie, obviously. Let's see. Eli Manning rookie. Tua rookie. Michael Strahan rookie. I got some Mahomes. I've got an Aaron Rodgers. This is numbered out of 100. It's from Spectrum. So there's some cool stuff in my eBay auction. Oh, hey, I've got a Randy Moss rookie. Another one of these. This is the Skybox Premium Destroyers. So there's a couple wide receiver Hall of Fame rookies in my eBay auctions. These started last night, and they end next Monday night. So check those out, 99centcards.com. So the reason these are not auctions ending 10, 29, 28, whatever the next Monday is, the reason they're in 29A is because not all auctions sell. And I made the mistake of when I converted a batch of auctions that ended last week sometime, I converted to box 24 tab AAD. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking in 24 AAD and I'm like, I can't find these cards. And there were like 3 of them that sold at Buy It Now, like within days or not, if not hours, after they didn't sell for $1.98 at auction. They sold for $2 on Buy It Now. Okay. And they were in my auction box. Oh yeah, I changed the SKU, but didn't move them to the other box. Well, let's keep it simple. And let's just completely take that moving from tab to tab out of the equation. Let's just turn the auction box into box 29. This is always going to be selling. There's always going to be cards moving out of these boxes. Box 29, tab A. And if half of these cards sell, boom, I just dwindled it down to half. And I know when I convert the unsold auctions to Buy It Now, they're already in the SKU 29A. I don't have to move cards around. So it took me a couple weeks. I've been doing a lot more auctions. So now this is becoming a problem with where to look for these auctions. So I've got to keep it streamlined. So now I'm getting streamlined. Still got a bunch of auctions that I got to ship out. Once I get that taken care of, then I can get these moved around. Okay, get these in the right SKUs. Where we at? Double A says, 0.2 ounces. I was thinking you set yours at 2 ounces. Oh no. So if you set it to 0.2 ounces, if you set it to 0.2 ounces, 3 cards comes out to be 0.6, and really, 1 card in a card saver is probably 0.2 ounces. I don't know what the price. I just did based on, okay, so I know 7 cards is going to be about 2 ounces. So I just wanted to set it to that. So yeah, 0.2 ounces is what I have it set to on Collects. I have suggested they allow you to change that after the fact. So you get charged for the shipping after the transaction. So you can set it like, okay, this is going to go 3 ounces, not 1 ounce, or this is going to go 1 ounce, not 3 ounces. Max says, are they though? I feel like that's a 5-minute coding thing. I don't know anything about coding. They told me they're working on it, so I believe them. Bargain Boxer says, what am I buying? Steals and deals. Let's go. Yes. Bargain Boxer, I'm going to Dallas in 2 weeks. I'm looking for steals and deals in Dallas. Best whiteout ever. I agree. Randy Moss and Jerry Rice are a toss-up. You can make an argument. You could talk me into agreeing with you if you said Randy Moss or you said Jerry Rice. I think Randy Moss and Jerry Rice are 1A, 1B, and they could go in any particular order. Unicorn Cupcake questions Tim Brown. Yeah, I've got a Tim Brown at auction. You want to see it? Here you go. Where's the Tim Brown? I think it's numbered out of 299. Tim Brown. It's not a rookie card. Of course, when was Tim Brown's rookie? What year was Tim Brown? 89? This is 2001 Pacific Vanguard. It's the blue, serial numbered to 299. Right there, smack dab on the front. Tim Brown. You are welcome, AA cards. This is a good question from Max. Do you not pay for the shipping yourself? It's just like eBay. On Collects, it's just like eBay. The only difference is you are charged the shipping on the front end of the transaction as opposed to the back end of the transaction on eBay. So on Collects, so say you buy 1 card off me for $2. As soon as you make that payment, it comes up on the app, and all of the fees and the shipping is deducted on the front end of the transaction. So you are paying, like it just comes out of your money. So let's just go to do I go to my sales? So let's just go the most recent sale. I sold a 1962 Topps Doug Atkins and a 1976 Topps Billy Williams. Total price was $2.50. So the buyer paid $2.50. And then from that $2.50, Collects deducted 75 cents for shipping, was the ESE, the plain white envelope shipping. And then their fee of 18 cents on that transaction. So I made $1.57. And so $1.57 goes into my Collects account. They're probably taking the rake on the credit card points for shipping. Just like eBay. I mean, eBay does the same thing. Like you're paying eBay the shipping if you use eBay shipping. Like I use eBay for shipping. So I'm paying eBay for those shipping. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. Let's try to make today a better day of eBay sales. Go to 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. Auction's ending tonight. I've got some good stuff ending at auction tonight. I'll show you what I've got before we leave here. If you don't want to see, you can leave now. Let's see. Auction's ending soon. We've got, let's share this tab. Let's put it on the screen. So we've got a couple Puka Nacua rookies. They did not scan well. Panini Select. I've got a Caleb Williams Bowman Chrome U. Not even a bit. I'm shocked by this. So my expectations is about $2. I don't know what comps are, but I was thinking that might sell for $250. So we'll see. I've got a Kirk Cousins Leaf Young Stars. No bids yet. A Joe Flacco Upper Deck rookie. Pay no mind to the orange refractor in the background. Joe Flacco Bowman rookie card. That does have a bid. Baker Mayfield Mosaic Green Prism. I've got a Donovan McNabb Bowman rookie card. A whole bunch of Brady. A whole bunch of early Brady's. 2003 Bowman. Tops total. 2002 Fleer Hot Prospects. 2018 Color Rush. There's another 2002. We've got a lot of bidding action on that. On these cards. More Brady, New Age Performers. I thought this would be bid up. I thought this one might go for as much as $5. We'll see where it ends tonight. 2006 Heritage. Some more Brady from 2003. Another insert, Topps National Chickle. I've got some Patrick Mahomes, Select Optic, Contenders, Season Ticket. Caleb Williams and CJ Stroud Leaf. I've got some slabs. Brad Johnson, Collector's Edge, PSA 10. J.J. Johnson, PSA 9. Mark Brunell, PSA 9. No bids on Brunell. Brian Greasy, PSA 9. I've got a Peter Warwick. How about that? A PSA 9. It's up to $325. Bowman Inception Orange Auto, number to 25 of Yasmani Tomas. Here's a basketball rookie. Hey, I timed that perfectly for opening night of the NBA. It's Danny Manning. He's been retired for a while. It's up to $450. I've got some Will cigarettes. I'm going to put some more. I've got some more tobacco cards from Churchman's. I've got some boxing cards that I'm going to throw on auction tonight. And I think I have some more of these types of cards. Freddie Freeman, City Connect. Hey, just in time for the World Series, Freddie Freeman. I've got the patch card numbered to 299 and a immaculate numbered to 99. I've got an auto of Ryan Castellani. Hockey patch, Stefan Matteau. Mark Vientos Cosmic Chrome, a little too late on some of these. Vientos and Quan and Big Christmas, Jean Kinsey Noel. Right on time, though, for Otani and Rizzo and Garrett Cole. Got an Aaron Judge Mojo. Got a Jeter Upper Deck Minor League card. No bids yet on that. That's surprising. Lewis Brinson, Chrome Rookie Auto. No bids. Davision De Los Santos. He's really climbing the prospect rankings. First Bowman Chrome. Soccer Refractor and Color Lot. Look at that. 1,000 of them. 1,000 soccer refractors and colors. Only $37 right now, plus $17 shipping. 1,000 cards. There is a Panini, I think it's Select or something, Alex Morgan. So that's a cool lot. We've got some more Yankees, Dodgers, Guardians. Am I going to regret this? This is a 1994 Pantech promo basketball card of Michael Jordan. It's only got a bid of 99 cents. I turned down a $25 offer on this card. Am I going to regret that decision? I had it listed, I think, for 75 as a buy it now before I converted it to auction, which means nobody wanted it for 75. Somebody wanted it for 25. Am I going to regret the decision? We'll see. It's only at 99 cents. I've got a Larry Bird, Indiana State Sycamores, numbered out of 799. Another Joe Flacco rookie. Oh, wait. Some of these end. The Jordan ends tonight. The Larry Bird, Flacco, and Messi end tomorrow night. So the Jordan is our cornerstone, keystone, whatever it is. Capstone. That is our capstone. That's the word I was looking for. So the Jordan, I turned down a $25 offer. We'll see. Max says, y'all old need to start to embrace tech. And Max says, yes, probably that I'm going to regret turning down a $25 offer on Michael Jordan. We'll see. That's going to be the fun one to watch. So we'll get some more auctions scheduled running tonight. Tuesday night auctions streaming live beginning at 7 p.m. Central right here on this YouTube channel. 99centcards.com is where you can put those bids. You can also buy it now and save 25% off when you buy 7 or more cards at regular price. Coupon code does not apply to auctions. Like and subscribe. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you in 11 hours or almost 10 hours for eBay Auctions Live. See you then.